What's going on, guys? Happy fucking Friday.
Happy Friday to y'all.
Yes, sir. Episode 2. I was calling these champ reviews.
Yep.
Or I suggested then and now. I don't know. Just
Yeah, I don't know.
whatever.
We're gonna run out of
eventually.
Ben's.
Right. No, exactly. Well, I mean, we'll figure it out when we get there. Who cares?
Right.
But today we are going over Ashe and Fiddlesticks. Both of them,
Fiddlesticks.
again, along with the original, I think it was like 20. Whatever.
Yes.
Released in February of 2009.
Jeez. So long ago.
13 years.
The meme is back.
Oh my god. So yeah, guys. And really quick, on the last episode of this, we just wanted to know if you guys were interested in us doing this and like a second episode throughout the week, and 100% said yes, so we're gonna keep doing that.
That's awesome to hear. I actually forgot to go back and check on that, so
Yep.
Thank you, y'all.
100%, baby.
do appreciate that.
All right, so Ashe.
Dude,
Ashe.
I do want to say the first thing, like, we were going over, like, just before we started recording, Dean was just kind of reminding me of some things that she used to do, and man, it brought back some nostalgia.
It's I mean, compared to Fiddlesticks, Ashe hasn't had anything too crazy.
Right.
Because Fiddlesticks is a full VGU. I think Ashe has gotten the voice update, at least. She's gotten, like, new lines.
She had new lines. She had some new skills and some, like, a mini rework, but for the most part, she's generally the same. And I'm okay with that. She has a place in the game, and I think that's what's most important. Fiddlesticks lost a place in the game, which is why they had to do a full-on rework. But
it's so crazy that champions that release at the same time, and I know we're going to get to that, but there's champions that have just pretty much stayed the same for the most part and have been great for 13 years, whereas Fiddlesticks did not age very well.
Right.
It's crazy.
It
was a hit or miss with some champions.
Yeah.
So the Frost Archer, I know when we started playing, she was the first champion we played in the tutorial. I have no idea what the tutorial is now.
So the tutorial gives you, I think there's 5 different types of champions to choose from. I know Miss Fortune's in it. I know Garen's in it. And I know Lux is in it. But you can kind of just keep picking those different champions and kind of testing them out and just kill minions. But that's about all I remember from the new tutorial.
That's actually not as bad as I thought then, because, like, at least you can kind of, I think they probably give you a champion from every class, maybe like a mage, an archer, or a marksman, a tank. I know Garen's probably in there. Garen, Ashe.
They just don't give you a support because Lux is a mage and a support, I guess, technically. They just don't give you a support because you can't really kill the minions with a support.
Right.
Yeah, they give you 5, and it's cool. It's cool.
But Ashe, remember on the Howling Abyss, that was the first.
Yeah, it was still the Murder Bridge, I think.
Probably.
I think because or at least when we started playing, I think that was when they had first released Howling Abyss, and so you would do the tutorial on the Murder Bridge, and then you'd go back and play ARAMs. Like, oh, that's the tutorial map. Okay.
So we're gonna take a look at Ashe here.
One of the things I like about this champion, and I believe it's still pretty similar to her old passive, but excuse me, it was her old passive called Focus. I don't care about the stacks. She would critically strike on the stacks based on her movement, but it just was, that thing didn't make sense. Hold on, am I getting, maybe I'm thought her old passive was the same as her new passive. Maybe I'm wrong.
Let's go through this. Let's look at her passive, or old passive, and then new passive. Let's see how much they changed.
Yeah. So her old one, if she hadn't attacked in 3 seconds, she would gain 4 to 8 based on level focus stacks. At 100 stacks, she would critically strike on her next basic attack.
I remember that.
Guaranteed. I don't even remember that. A guaranteed crit. And thereafter, focus stacks will be reset to an amount equal to her crit strike chance. That's right, because you go full crit on her.
That's kind of broken.
Right.
Was broken.
Right. Well, when you look at her new passive, actually, I think this might be more broken. Her her new passive has two parts. So the first part is that her basic attacks apply frost, which slows the enemies by 20 to 30% based on level for 2 seconds. We know this. We see this with her W a lot.
Yeah.
Basic attacks against enemies that have frost deal 110% damage. 110% modified damage. If you have an IE, it is 75 plus 35% of critical strike chance. So
Which
her
is
damage,
110.
right? Her damage is based on her critical strike chance, not her critical strike damage. So that is the one thing that makes IE kind of not worth on her anymore. The second part is that crits deal no extra damage. Instead, they double frost slow strength. So it could be 40 to 60 based on level, and it decays over 1 second. So this is why I like playing Ashe with Seraphine.
Oh yeah, it's a free
Stun. Yep.
Yeah.
You can hold your W, or you can hold for your Q and hit skills instead. It's different.
Let's look at this. Yeah, like, and I mean back then, Infinity Edge was different too. Infinity Edge did a lot of fucking damage.
Yes.
It was 225%.
I think so. I think so.
And you could build that first.
Yes, you sure could.
That was like everybody. I mean, of course, way before Mythics and everything. Everyone, it felt like
if you played ADC, you
build
rushed
Infinity Edge.
IE, right? Unless you were Draven.
Bloodthirster back in the day, exactly. But let's look at this. So if she has an attack in 3 seconds, it stacks up. And it will guarantee a crit.
Based on her crit strike chance.
Yeah, so if you have 60% crit, you're starting at 60 stacks or whatever, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
It's very basic. I'm really glad they changed it. I think,
right.
I mean, they changed her. They made her way more utility.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, and we can kind of bleed into her Q, which is her old Q is basically her passive now, where her basic attacks would slow. They wouldn't scale the way that the current passive does with crit, and it was a toggle.
It was a toggle, and it costs a shit ton of fucking mana.
8 mana per auto attack?
Yeah, when you're attacking, when you're up at like a 2.0 attack speed, she doesn't have a big mana pool.
I know, but
back in the day, she only had 232 mana to start at level 1.
I just remember always building Manamune on her.
Dude, I don't even remember doing that because
back it would apply the single target damage, and I believe back then it refunded a portion.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I think you're right.
Because you could toggle. That was back in the day when you could toggle Manamune.
Yes. Dude, I forgot about that.
So, I mean, we're talking about the crit, but this build was pretty... I mean, yeah, there was no other ADC or, like, pure AD mana items.
Right.
I don't think. So.
I don't think so. I don't... I mean, obviously, a Sheen item, because Sheen used to give you mana.
Back in the day, yeah.
But that was about it.
Interesting. I mean, obviously, her passive now is much better than...
Way better.
This is just slowing, and it was up to 35%, whereas the passive now, the base slow is to 30%, but then it goes up to 60%.
Yeah.
And then decays over 1% back to, or 1 second back to the original slow.
I feel like that's why she's still relevant too, because she just has CC built right into her kit. Like, you don't have to do anything, you just have to auto attack. And I think that makes her rather important in why she's still relevant in the game.
Or is it because you like playing her support with
with Mandate?
Mandate, because it's a free fucking proc on her auto attacks.
That's fun, but I feel like she's actually weaker than Senna in terms of like her support build, because Senna can build damage from the support role and actually scale her gold so she can afford the items. Ashe in the support role does not do that very well. So you have to play skill damage, basically W volley Ashe, I guess is the best way to call it.
Speaking of the volley,
right.
Or excuse me. So we can move on to the Q. So right, the Q. So old Q is the new passive.
Yep.
The current Q. So you auto attack. You get stacks. Generates focus. Right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, focus.
Ranger's
so
focus. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then of course, when you activate when it's full stacks, you activate it, and there's you like a fury, whatever the fuck you want to call it, like you
Yep.
guys know what the fuck ability does, and it gives you attack speed steroid.
Yes, dude. I really like this skill. It's great for taking towers. It's great for bursting down an enemy, and it's great if you have Runans. You just start annihilating everybody in the way, and they're just getting slowed out the ass.
Again, this is like I feel like whenever ADCs have a built-in attack speed steroid, that's like great.
Yeah.
Especially you combine that with fucking lethal tempo, and you're
Yep.
shitting out a lot of attack speed.
Yep. I remember the beginning of the season, this champion was really, really, really strong because of the lethal tempo changes.
She did get. I know recently she got buffs to her ultimate, so they're trying. Maybe they're just trying to. I know she's being played in pro play too.
Yeah.
A little bit here and there, but the buffs to her ultimate recently were great.
Well, she's got just so much utility packed into her kit. I mean, through all of her skills, that that's what keeps her in the game. And so when her damage falls off, I feel like they're always trying to find a way, like, okay, maybe we don't give her a lot of damage because she actually 1v1s pretty well. Maybe we don't give her a lot of damage, but maybe we affect some of the utility that she has in order to keep her relevant. And I like that because there's a lot of versatility. Whereas you look at someone like Ezreal or Jinx, and they lack that utility. They're more like, no, I just need to shoot your ass, you know?
Maybe the Chompers. Okay, Ezreal for sure, but
Right.
I think Jinx has a little bit more with a little extra CC.
Right. I mean, she got the W in the Chompers. You're right, but like, she's still like when the meta does not favor attack speed, she falls off very quickly. Where, like you said, Ashe having the steroid kind of keeps her in the game.
One thing to note here, I did not realize it only applies on hit effects once. So is that the initial like burst of the attacks? Is that what that means?
Let's see.
Flurries trigger
once,
on
and each
hit.
arrow deals modified physical damage. Oh, well, yeah, it's just the attack. Because you attack at the same speed, the auto attack would be more or less, but you're just getting multiple hits off of it.
What do
So
you?
I think that makes
gain.
sense.
What do you mean you gain? You gain up to 40% attack speed.
Right. But you would, so it's just counting that first hit, not the flurry afterwards.
Right.
It would just be like else. Right. It would just be like a regular auto attack, just at a higher attack speed.
Okay.
And then you're just getting those second hits aren't giving you any bonus, but you're attacking so fast that I don't think it really matters. It would be way too fucking OP if she got it off of the.
Oh my god, the full flurries,
Dude.
like just. Dude. That would be broken.
It would be.
Holy shit. All right, moving to volley, our fucking favorite ability here.
Yeah, this one stayed pretty much the same. I'm pretty sure.
I'm looking at the old one. 7 arrows in a cone.
Yep.
Shoots a volley. It doesn't even tell me how many.
Each arrow will only hit
okay,
one
so it
enemy.
scales up. I had no fucking idea that scales with the amount of arrows.
That's
interesting.
In her old one or her new one?
New one. I had no idea. That's interesting.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, you know what? I forgot they did that a while ago. That's right. They did that.
This is what I'm talking about with this series. Like, we're learning things I had no idea or we forgot, but that's interesting. I did not know that.
And I think they also tightened her cone from what it used to be too.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find a. So it was 57.5 degrees. It is 27. Yeah, it looks like 27. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the angle between each missile. So they're tighter together, but they don't spread quite as wide. Whereas the old ones were much further apart, like double the distance apart, so you could actually dodge them pretty easily.
Okay, each arrow will only hit one enemy, and each enemy will be only okay. Still applied the slow as your Q.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, pretty same damage. Yeah, same damage.
Yeah. This skill was like perfect. They really didn't have to change it.
Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna talk about the E, which was our fucking favorite.
Okay, so when I first started playing this game, Ashe was one of the first champions I picked up. And I remember the build rushing Avarice Blade and starting Hawkshot just to get the gold injection.
So for you Zoomers, Avarice Blade, I can't. Did it build into Static Shiv? What fucking item did it build into?
Shiv, Atma's Impaler, and Yomu's.
Jesus Christ. So this was did it give crit?
Or 10%.
10% crit. Okay, did it give attack speed too, I believe?
Nope, just 10% crit. That's all.
Okay, cool.
Crit and gold.
So this super cheap item granted you 2 extra gold per minion kill.
It was 800 gold, by the way.
So you'd get that early? Did it build any out? Was it just
no? It was its own thing. It also gave you 3 gold per 10 seconds. So you got 2 gold for killing minions, monsters, or champions.
Wait, I do not remember
3 gold
that.
per 10 seconds. Oh,
it had a gold.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
had
remember
passive
that.
gold.
Holy shit, that's even more broken than I remember.
Right. So when you pair that with Ashe's level 1 on a Hawkshot, you get 5 gold just for killing a minion, extra. So she just got like a massive gold injection because of this stupid fucking item.
Well, it says 3 gold.
So you get 3 gold for Ashe and 2 gold for Avarice.
Okay, sorry. I thought you meant
yeah.
Okay, on that
Yeah.
part. So 3, 2, 5, and then 3 every 10 seconds after that.
Yep. Like that's
Broken.
just actually fucking stupid. But the main part of Hawkshot remains. Although I think now it gives you true sight. No, just regular sight. I'm sorry. But once you have sight, you don't lose it.
The biggest change is it's global now. It used to not be global.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it had a massive range. 5,500 units is pretty fucking long.
Right. But global, we can go and you can see anywhere on the fucking map.
Yes, and you'd still see it in its sight. I think the way that it shows now is a little bit different. When you shoot it across the map, it shows I think every half second. It gives you a blip on the map, where before you would just see the straight line in real time, more or less. Where now it lights up a little area for a half second and just keeps lighting up areas till it hits its destination.
I think when they changed the Hawkshot to that, I believe that's when they added that it pings an enemy if it sees somebody.
Yes.
So that's big.
Also you can get an assist off of it.
Exactly. The assist. So if you think your enemy jungler is dog shit and is about to die to their fucking blue buff, you're like, oh, I'm gonna fire a Hawkshot over there. Let's see what happens. That blue buff just fucking mollywops that motherfucker. You get a kill, or you get an assist, whatever.
No, I think you get a kill. If the blue buff kills it, I mean, there's no one else to take the kill. I think you get a kill on that. That would be like an execute, and since you did something, I don't know. That's actually a good question.
I wonder how many people actually know that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question.
That's fucking funny. Hey, if you think you're gonna play against a first-time jungler, pick Ashe. But damn, Avarice played 3 gold per 10 seconds.
He's still blown away by the Avarice play. That's
also,
so great.
If you wanted to be next level back in the day with old runes, you could take gold.
Yes.
Gold runes where you get whatever 2 gold per 10 seconds. Was it always based off or 5 seconds? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think the quints were 2 per. They might have been 2 per 10, but you would only take 1 quint in that, and then you remember you would take the AD reds. And then you would just take the 1 crit. There was the 1 crit, just the 1%.
1% chance crit. Yep.
It's better than 0%. Who knows? It could help you out in the early game, you know.
Dude, anybody who remembers those, holy shit, they were so. And you had to fucking buy those.
I forgot about that, dude. That was
influence
awful.
Points.
That was awful.
It was.
That was awful.
It's like, so good. The way it is now, I know sometimes we bitch about how OP runes are.
Right.
It is amazing how it is now.
Well, I'm right now I'm just thinking about you had to buy them, but you still wouldn't at level 30, you didn't have enough influence points to have enough of the runes that you needed. So now once you're level 30, you could actually just go into a ranked game and be fine. Yeah, but back then you had to build everything up. Oh my god, I'm thinking about it. That's awful. Dude.
You had to make multiple. You had to buy pages too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's still a thing now, but I feel like I use Professor, you use Blitz, so these are automatically giving us the best runes for this patch, and then you could go in and adjust it, whatever.
Yep.
But back in the day, you had to have multiple pages,
Yep.
which you had to spend. I think you had to use RP to buy those.
I think you could buy them with influence points,
It
but
was
it
a
was
lot.
like, yeah, it was like 20,000 or something.
Um,
Some dumbass amount. You're like, holy shit, I'm never gonna have enough to buy another page because I need to buy these runes.
so like you could essentially have the quints that were like AD, attack speed, whatever, could all be the same, and then one would just be for against physical damage comps or
Yeah.
magic damage comps, like magic resist.
Oh,
It was a nightmare.
it was, and then there was never enough time in the lobby to actually set your runes correctly and your masteries because you had to do runes and masteries.
Oh my god,
Dude. Yeah, Runes Reforged was a way better system.
we could go on and on about runes.
Right.
So all right,
So
down to
Hawkshot we know is basically the same. They obviously now they took off the gold generation. So here's Ashe's premier skill other than her volley. It's her
Right.
enchanted crystal arrow.
So pretty much the same global.
Yep.
What is it says range global / 250.
250
Area-
is
is
the
that the
AoE
area
effect.
effect?
Yeah.
Trying to see what it
And
is.
Currently it is 350 is the sight range or sight radius and it's 400 is the radius of the explosion.
So then it deals it does a little bit of damage. Yeah, 50% damage to nearby, right?
Yeah. Let me see too. I know they just sped it up. Oh yeah, now it goes 1500 to 2100. Before it was
Yeah,
just
if it's hitting the
16
max
flat.
range or
Yep.
traveling the furthest.
Yep. No, that was just sorry. That's the missile speed. That's how fast it travels.
Okay, right.
This skill is pretty much the same. I believe it still scales off magic damage. Let me check that. Yes, it does.
100% AP. Yep.
Yep. In the past, so the original says Ashe fires a giant arrow in a straight line. If it hits an enemy champion, it will deal magic damage and stun that champion for 1 to 3.5 seconds based on distance traveled. And nearby enemies take half damage and are slowed by 50% for 3 seconds. Currently, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm looking at it. This is maybe the ability you're thinking about that gives this now. If it hits a target, it grants true sight of the area.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it did that.
Yeah,
I just
thought
knew that when you fire it and it's flying down the map, it actually grants vision now. It didn't used to do that. Let me see here. Okay, so the active now is fires a massive area of ice, granting sight of the area it flies through, each for 1 second. The arrow shatters upon hitting a champion, dealing the magic damage and stunning them for 1 to 3.5 seconds. So that's the same. And grants sight of the area around them. It no longer does AoE splash damage. So that's important to think about. It does still do the 50% slow to the nearby targets, however.
No, it says dealt 50% damage.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, enemies surrounding the main target are dealt 50% damage and afflicted with frost shock.
All right, guys, I can't read, so got that
It's
going
okay.
for me. I also thought it's always been crazy this skill scales off 100% AP.
Who's gonna do that?
In what world did Ashe build an Asher's Tooth? Explain that part to me.
Dude, I want to, if Earth comes back, I just want to build AP Ashe and just fucking
You just build all
across
hit.
the map one shot Ashe arrows.
Oh my god, dude!
100% AP.
What could you? I guess you could build Ludens.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna say
then
fuck
Nashers-
attack speed. You're just a fucking a
Ludens, Nashers,
skill,
Rabadons, and just blow people up.
dude. If that fucking thing hits you across the map, imagine if you have 700, like 800 AP. So
Yeah.
800 and 600, 1400 damage.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
That's fucking funny. I want to try that,
pretty
even
gross.
though I hate Earth.
I fucking hate her.
So okay, how we feeling about Ashe? I think, I mean, again, it's little has changed, just small tweaks.
Right. I still like her. I know right now her current build is more of an on-hit style just because she doesn't benefit from the crit, really. I mean, her slow benefits from the crit, so you
But
get
it's
a
not
little
worth
bit,
it.
but it's not exactly. You're not getting
Yeah.
enough for what you're putting into it because she can't crit. So building that on-hit, like the Wit's End, Runan's Ashe is the way to go. I still like playing her, although right at this current moment, she's not really in, so I probably wouldn't play her right now. There's too many champions that just jump her bones, and she doesn't get a chance to ever actually do anything. But that could change with the patch that just came out. Who knows?
Cool. All right, we are gonna move on to good old Fiddlesticks.
Fiddly. And this one, I think I was more excited to talk about than Ashe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because of course he had the big update,
Right.
which I think is on par. When I think of like super successful, obviously I like all reworks, but I think when it comes down to it, I think the best reworks so far were either Fiddlesticks or Warwick.
Oh,
Both of those are
yeah.
really fucking awesome
Yeah,
reworks.
they are. You're right. They're 100% right. I
I,
think. I also like Swain a lot, though.
it's fair.
I gotta say, Swain's was pretty good. But Fiddlesticks, I feel like they nailed the theme. Like, I
Yeah, he
don't think
went
they could have
from he
nailed
was
the
not
theme from
scary at all.
anybody. Right. He was kind of a joke, but I felt like he was supposed to be scary, but not scary, right?
Right.
Right.
I mean, just look
So,
what he used to look like his splash art, and then look at him
yeah.
now.
Yeah, he's like legit creepy. And the voice lines, they absolutely nailed it. But I'm not a big Fiddlesticks player. I never have been, so I don't know a whole lot about all of his skills beyond Crowstorm and his old Darkwind. So break it down for me, dude.
All right, passive. So old Fiddlesticks, and I remember when they changed this, but old Fiddlesticks, I believe he literally just used to, if you stop moving, he would just become a scarecrow. I remember when they added in the movement speed change.
Okay,
I
hold on. I see on here they have a first innate, second innate, and third innate. And third innate was his last most common. But I don't think I ever knew his first innate passive. Because I think it was retired before we started playing the game.
I just I remember it was a few years ago, obviously before the rework, that they added in if you stand still for 1.5 seconds, you gain movement speed after.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
definitely was 100% was not original.
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
pretty sure, or maybe he just lowered like magic damage or something.
So his original was enemies with an 800 range have their magic resistance
Okay,
reduced
yeah.
by 10 when Fiddlesticks is visible to them.
Okay, so yeah, there you go.
And then it got changed to dealing magic damage or casting Terrify applies Dread, reducing magic resistance by 10 for 3 seconds.
Okay, so there you go. I was pretty close.
Yeah, and then they actually made the one that made the most sense.
Well, I mean, he's a scarecrow, right? So if he
Right.
stops moving, which I think that was just a meme, if anything. What is standing still for five? Like,
Right.
I was like, that's Fiddlesticks. What else would it be if he's just standing there? Um, but as far as old Fiddlesticks go, he needed something like the channeling. We'll get to his ulti where he'd get extra movement speed for channeling for a second and a half. Like that was a pretty good buff.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, compared to his new passive, which is way more utility based,
Yes, I like this passive too.
and it kind of plays into his theme. Like
Yep.
he's a scarecrow, and if you look in a cornfield, there's probably multiple scarecrows. So it's like, so obviously levels 1 through 5, you put down an effigy, which is just basically a trinket, and it lasts for 2. Does it last normal? I think it's like a normal
Let's see.
green
It
ward
lasts
or yellow
consume a
ward.
charge, place an effigy.
Doesn't tell me
100 and I don't know.
80 seconds. Is it the same? It's got to be the same thing as.
It's got to be the same because I don't see it. Yeah, it just says limited to one.
But
trinket,
of course,
so it's
when
got
he
to
gets
be
to
the
level
same.
6, it becomes a control ward, a pink ward.
Yes.
It gives true sight, and it disables. Hold on, I'm looking at this. I did not know it disables stealth traps.
I had no idea it did that either.
So, because I know when they changed like Teemo, for example, pink wards stopped, or sweepers and pink wards stopped disabling. They used to be able to disable,
Yeah.
so you could just run over the fucking as your sweeper's going off.
Yep.
I had no idea that this
Yeah, I would have never
disables
guessed that.
traps. And it's also big because it disables pink wards. That is fucking
Right.
big. That's pretty cool.
Right.
And then of course, if you attack it, it mimics it does like an ability, it'll pretend to flash, or it will
Yep.
flash. So You can really fuck with people who aren't expecting it,
Yeah,
which is pretty. Again, plays into his theme pretty well.
it does.
I
It
liked
does
it.
actually. I like this a lot. It's you
Play
don't
some
get it.
mind
You
games.
can't have a sweeper and you can't have any other trinket as Fiddlesticks. So they give you something that acts as a trinket, but is more powerful because Fiddlesticks and it's exclusive to them. So I like it. I'm a fan.
Can you? Does it say how many you can have on the map at once?
Um, it does not say.
Curious. I don't. There's no way it's gonna let you have like a million of these things. But like, there have been times where I'm just running through the jungle and playing against the fiddlesticks, and all of a sudden I walk into a bush and I see the flash animation go off, and I'm like, oh shit! And then I
Right,
flashed, but it was just. And then he like laughs at you or whatever. It's like,
he
ha ha,
does.
fucking dumbass.
um, yeah, it's cool because I also like that like Fiddlesticks himself can pretend to be an effigy, and
Yeah.
people
So
just run right by you because they
makes
don't know.
it makes that so much better than the original, where it's like,
Right.
oh, Fiddlesticks is just standing still. Now you don't know if it's him or not.
Exactly.
Great. Fucking love it. Terrify.
Uh, yeah.
I think it's primarily the same, just a little extra on it. Fiddlesticks tethers himself. Tethers. Oh, that's Drain. Never mind, I'm drunk. So Fiddlesticks causes the enemy to flee, and it gives him 90%, slows them by 90%. The old one,
Yep.
scaling up to 2.25 seconds.
Yep.
90% slow. Let's look at this one. This one is. Does it not tell me what the slow is?
It's a much longer. So let's see. I think the flea.
Does Flea have its own like?
I'm trying to look on flea right now. I don't see anything on here that says.
Oh, Flea duration. I'm drunk. It says right next to it.
Oh, I see duration, but I was looking for slow percentage.
Okay. So okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, 90%. Terrify slows targets by 90%. It says at the bottom of the skill.
That's all terrifies.
Yep.
Interesting. That's good to know.
Well, I'm sorry. That's still. I mean, the skill is terrified. Not all fleas, but the skill is terrified. So it is a 90% slow just for the skill.
Got it. Okay, so pretty much the same, except a little bit less of a flea duration, a 1/4 of a second. No big deal.
Right,
The
but this
big
also has a passive and an active.
Sure. So passively, again, we're talking about the new fiddlesticks right now. If you use any ability when your target has not seen you, that ability will instantly terrify.
Yep.
Or yeah. So which is again, prior we look at the old. You'd if you ulted over a wall, you'd have to hit them with the Q in
Yes.
the old. But now you ult instant terrify
Yep.
if they haven't seen you.
Which is a nice quality of life change, honestly.
Definitely. Well, I mean, again, they fucking nailed his theme. Like
They
it's
did.
perfect. And then of course the new thing is if someone has been afflicted with, is it the terrify? Because you can only make them flee every. It says it starts at 15 seconds down to 13 on the same target. But if you use that ability on a jungle creep, another champion, it just does it basically crits, right? It does double damage. We'll
I
have
think
it
so.
critically strike.
Yeah.
It'll do extra damage.
Against targets with a cooldown, Terrify
Yep.
instead will have its damage and minimum threshold doubled.
So not only does it go from a utility, it actually goes to a damage. So
Yeah.
again, you hop over a wall with your ulti, the target gets fleed, or gets terrified, and then you can use your Q again to deal extra damage.
It's also worth noting that this damage is current health damage.
Yep.
So if you're hitting a Cho'Gath with a lot of stacks, you're going to do a lot more damage than if you're hitting a Lulu. Just
No,
to throw that
it's
out there.
current health, not max health.
Right. Sorry. If they're both at full health and you're hitting a Cho'Gath, you can do a lot more damage than hitting a full health Lulu. That's what I was going
Sure.
for. My apologies.
Okay. So then anything else? Okay. Yep. Minions are always feared if Fiddlesticks is not attacking them, and there's no champion. Interesting. I did not know that, but I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna be playing like lane Fiddlesticks.
No, you're playing jungle Fiddlesticks, but Does that affect monsters, or is it
I
just...
don't think so. Minion. I think when they say minions,
Yeah, they just
that
mean
means
minions.
lane minions.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Right, you were
whatever. I
right.
guess it's a little extra.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to. Wow, I had no idea that they changed the name from Drain to Bountiful Harvest.
Oh, I had no idea that they did either, because
I always call it the
it's the
Sucky
slurp
Sucky.
skill. Yeah, it's like sucky.
So this is main ability, the healing. You drain them and it deals magic damage over 5 seconds. It's a channel. It's a tether too. So remember, tethers work through invulnerabilities like a fizz backflip.
Yes.
Trying to think of
Hourglass.
hourglass. I'm trying to think of another.
I think it would work against Senna's E. Should work against Vlad's W.
Yeah, there you go. That was the other one I was thinking of.
And you said Fizz, Playful Trickster.
Yeah.
The other thing to note too was old Fiddlesticks. You had to hit the Q and then the W. So you had to hit the Terrify and then drain them. Otherwise, you just leave yourself open to getting mollywopped.
And I think the biggest thing, and we can slide into the newer W, is
Yes.
old drain, old W was single target.
Yep.
You could only suck off one motherfucker at a time.
I don't know why you had to put it like that, but
I'm not wrong though.
you can only suck off one motherfucker at a time. Okay.
So I mean, like, again, we call that a quality of life because, like,
Yes.
you go to jungling now. Obviously, jungle camps were different back then, but now you have raptors where there's fucking 6 of those birds.
Yep.
And you sit in the middle of them, and it sucks. It sucks. It
Dude.
it drains all targets around you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so. There's got to be an amount. I don't know what to
okay.
say.
Let's look at this. This is interesting. The more things I did not know. When he is channeling Bountiful Harvest, it reveals true sight of the target.
Did not know that.
That is OP. So I mean, it's an ability where, like, say you're walking through the jungle and you're approaching like the river bush. If you walk by it, I think the way it works is your W will like light up, like, oh, I can use it now. So if you hit W, it reveals the person in the bush because they're close enough for you to. I'm trying to think of another ability. Like Katarina's R, you can't just use it whenever.
Right.
You have to be next to a target. So like you can, you're walking and then you're like, oh, my W lit up, weird, and you can use it.
Reminds me of like Pike's passive. If you're in vision, you can always tell if there's vision in a bush or if there's a Teemo in a bush. If you're playing against a Teemo, if you're not healing,
you're being seen. They can see you.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Same kind of thing. I did not also know that Fiddlesticks healed himself for pre-mitigation damage. That's actually pretty insane. This basically means he heals himself as if he was dealing true damage, even though he doesn't deal true damage. So you may not take a lot of damage from it, but he's healing either way.
Mean, that was the big thing. It's like, why would it do that much damage and heal you? It's kind of broken.
Right. Well, it's crazy that it can heal you through, like, even if someone's got 500 MR, for example, or whatever, and he's still healing as if you have
nothing.
Yeah, exactly, as if you have nothing, but he's just not doing any damage to you.
Which is fine.
Massive sustain.
The heal percentage is down, but I believe at the last tick of it, it pops up and it heals you more.
Yes.
So it goes from 30 to 50, whereas prior it was 60 to 80.
Okay.
They also lowered the damage. They really lowered the damage.
Yeah, it was kind of OP with how much damage it did.
And to be fair, it was single target, the single sucky back then.
Yeah. Also, didn't know this about this skill. If the channel's not interrupted, you get a 60% cooldown refund.
Yeah, so if you let it play all the way out, you,
yeah.
That I like that.
That's crazy.
Or if it, let the whole, it's really fucking good for jungling. Like, it's pretty much always up. Like you're very healthy when you come out of your clear.
Yeah,
it's great. It was, again, another good quality of life, and they had to lower the damage, which totally makes fucking sense.
It's fine. All right, we'll go down to the E, which before was the infamous Dark Wind.
A-Rammers fucking loved and hated this ability.
Remember support Fiddlesticks right before he got changed? That was a big thing.
Fucking bounce.
Because people would just fucking, yeah, oh my god, dude, that was disgusting. And because it had a fucking silence on it too. Ugh. So, it used to be Fiddlesticks would send a crow to a target enemy and bounces 5 times. Yeah, point and click silence that bounced 5 times.
You could bounce that shit off minions to get your target, like
right. And if you were draining somebody, it would actually prioritize going back and forth to the drained target, which is insane.
I didn't realize it. So I heard that, but I didn't realize it prioritizes targets that haven't been hit in the vicinity yet. So it like if there's a wave of minions, you're just gonna throw it, and it's probably gonna target what you want to hit, rather than like some dumb like weird fucking like gamble of a bounce. Like, oh, I hope it fucking bounces that way. It's more than likely gonna bounce and hit the thing you want to hit.
Yeah.
And of course, silence second and a quarter.
Right, which was broken AF, especially when he was playing support, because you felt like you could not save your fucking teammate because you're just getting silenced the whole time. That shit was fucking annoying. One of the things I didn't know, because I don't play Fiddlesticks, that Surprise Party had a couple special icons in the kit for certain skills. This is one of them. That's pretty cool. Actually, I guess all of them have different icons for Surprise Party. That's pretty unique because most champions don't have that.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. But like I said, I don't play this champion. So, his new E is no longer a crow. It's called Reap. And this is the skill you see most people poke with. Because it offers a slow and it does some magic damage. It's just a poke skill, really.
It's got good range, 850.
It's got a lot of range. But the thing is, you had to hit it at that range, right? If you try to hit someone who is short, it didn't work, right? If they were too close to you or too far.
Think of like a Darius Q. Like you want to hit that sweet spot.
I was thinking of Diana. Is it a Q? Her moon?
The Crescent Blade? Yeah,
Crescent Blade.
It kind of curves around. Yeah, you want to hit... same thing, like, yeah, exactly. You want to make sure you're hitting it in the sweet spot.
Right. It still silences for the second and a quarter, but it's much less reliable than it used to be because it's not a point-and-click silence.
It does get a little more utility with the slow, though. Yeah.
Yes, and it definitely does damage. This is the damage poke skill. There's not much more to say about it, really. It's pretty straightforward.
I mean, of course, and then with the passive, if you
so you would hide in a bush, swipe somebody to fear them, and then do what you impose your will if you wanted to.
Cool. All right, Crow
but
Storm,
down to the
baby.
ulti. This is the reason you pick this champion here.
This is the Fiddlesticks, baby.
It's the whole reason you play this champion. So I don't think it's much different than it used to be. I think it's pretty much the same. I think they just changed how the damage hits. So, old one, after channeling for a second and a half, Fiddlesticks blinks to a target location with a murder of crows, which, by the way, we love calling it a murder of crows, flying wildly around him for 5 seconds, dealing magic damage to enemies each second.
Ooh, okay, so there was a little bit of a difference here.
So it would apply a tick of damage every
1 second.
half second, but the damage per second was the same. So every half second, you'd take half of that damage. So it was 125 to 325 scaling with a 45% AP ratio. So you would just take half of that every half second.
And then now it's while they're around 5 seconds, dealing every quarter second. But obviously the damage is way lower.
Right.
Or maybe it might actually make out to be the same.
What I did not know, and actually as I'm looking at this, I didn't know that if you grounded old Fiddlesticks, it would actually interrupt his ulti. But a root did not, only grounding. Like, oh.
I think that makes sense because it's like a flash.
Right. I just did not know that it would just stop the whole murder and everything. I was like, oh, like Singed would have been a good counter.
Oh yeah,
Singed
you fucking
or
Soraka.
Or Soraka.
No, let's silence field.
Yeah, silence. It's not a ground. Yeah, Yeah, miasma. Yeah. It's pretty much the same skill. Like Dean said, it ticks the damage every quarter second. But actually, I think the damage is about the same as I'm looking at it. You multiply that by 4, you're gonna get roughly the same numbers. So
Yeah, 120.
they really didn't have to change
31.
anything.
Yep. I mean, of course, you get you're between old and new Fiddlesticks. You're exchanging that channel buff where you get a movement speed
Yeah,
after to you got a fucking massive AOE fear potentially,
yeah,
which again is absolutely disgusting. And
game
then you're
breaking.
sitting in then and then you're in a fucking 5-way blowbang sucking off all 5 enemies
Oh
with your
my
W.
god! Oh, jeez! You just decided you're gonna go for it, huh?
You should have seen that coming.
I should have, but Jesus Christ, I wasn't ready for that.
It's way more deadly now, and I mean, it looks better too. Like if you've
It
seen it
looks
in
way
game,
cooler.
if you've seen what old Fiddlesticks looks like, it's like, ah! And now it's fucking terrifying. Like no
It
pun
is.
intended. It's fucking great.
I love that he yells fear too when he goes in on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, this champion has had actually a lot of old stuff. I'm actually looking at the old skills. So the first Crow Storm / Surprise Party had a different icon, and there had to be something else about it. Dark Wind had some different icons. Actually, he had a lot of different icons. That's crazy. I've never seen a champion that had that many different icons.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Right.
Oh god,
And
some of these are horrible. That first drain, oh my god.
oh yeah, oh the paranoia, the Fiddlestick's mere presence is enough to cause fear in his enemies, cause them to miss on their attacks. Enemies within his aura have a chance to miss on each attack. Like, remember when miss was an actual mechanic in the game?
Yeah.
Dodge and miss. You could buy those runes. You might buy a dodge rune,
Oh yeah, we're bringing that back to what we're talking about.
right?
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, it's Fiddlesticks is interesting. I just don't play the champion because it's not my style. You kind of play him similar. Obviously, he's a mage, not an assassin, right? He's not going to blow you up, but he does have just massive CC from his passive, and so the whole, like you said earlier, the whole point you play this champion is for the ulti. You just dive in on a team. It's kind of like Urgot picking up a kill with his ulti, and he starts fearing
AoE
everybody.
fear.
Yeah,
I feel like AoE fears are
broken.
are very broken. I feel like they're very underappreciated isn't the term. Like what am
They're
I
almost
trying to
under. Well, no, there's only a couple champions that have it. I guess it's not underutilized.
it's really good. Like they're slept
pretty niche.
on. They're slept
Yeah.
on. I mean, like I don't think Urgot's very good right now, but that ulti.
But his ulti is a team fight game breaker.
Yeah, I would say like people always just think about it just executes, right? But no, it fucking grinds you and fears everything around you.
It's actually why I don't like Hullbreaker on Urgot.
Yeah.
Because you build Hullbreaker and you're losing the rest of that. Like, I get it, he can push really well, but he's he's a really good team fighter too. So the fear, you gotta use it. Don't be afraid to use it.
Well, that's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, that's
this
it
week.
for these ones.
That was fun. Next
Yeah, it
week,
is fun.
looking at this, we got Jax and Kale.
Ooh,
Now,
Jackson
obviously,
is...
another thing, Kale, it's going to be similar this week. Kale got a big rework.
Yeah.
Jax,
Yep.
I think, is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So, I guess tune in next Friday. We talk about Helicopter Dick and Morgana's sister. So,
Fair enough.
I couldn't think of anything funny to say about Kale.
Yeah, good enough.
Guys, hope you have a good weekend. Please, I forgot to say this on our first episode of the week, but shoot us a fucking rate us. 5-star, of course, is the best, but rate how you guys are feeling.
Honest ratings, please.
Yep, send in voice questions or just any general topics, and we'll listen to them or react to it live. Check us out on we're on Spotify, of course. We're on Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere. Anchor. And leave us reviews. We're gonna read them out. We're gonna shout them out, guys. If you want to come on an episode, maybe a champion that's coming up that you like, or whatever.
Yeah,
let's talk about them.
Absolutely. And I do want to leave you guys with a question for this week, and it's what do you prefer, old Fiddlesticks or new Fiddlesticks?
Like it. All right.
So
Well, tune in next week. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't think there's a patch next week.
no, we'll have something for next
we'll
week,
have
but
something.
we'll be back with this episode next Friday as well. So
Yep. All right,
have
guys.
a good rest of your weekend, guys.
Have a good one.